Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new podcast. We got a lot in store for you guys today. We got to recap week 14. A lot of drama went down, a lot of great games that happened this past weekend. And I couldn't do it without my co host. How's it going, man?
It's going well, man. But you get a win, right? It just comes at a cost, right? Everything good, it just comes at a cost in your life. So, you get a win, but then there's something that follows. There's always something. It's always something. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing good though, man. I can't
You're doing good?
complain. Life's good. Yeah, man, I can't complain. So
Yeah,
how
that's good.
about you though?
Yeah, at least your team can win, you know? I haven't smelled a win in 2 months, so it's all right. It's okay. Maybe we'll win in the draft.
Comes at
Maybe
We
we'll win
can
this offseason.
win, but we don't really enjoy them.
Okay. You don't enjoy your
So it
wins?
feels like
I
we
don't know.
lost,
Saquon's
particularly
enjoying.
this week. Hmm?
Saquon's been enjoying it. He's on pace. He broke the record.
Oh, he's been a fun to watch for sure. He's been a joy.
Broke Shady's record. Most rushing yards in
Yeah,
a Eagles
that's crazy.
season.
Well deserved through week 14. It's well deserved. So good for him. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Shout out
Yeah.
to him and the O line
Yeah.
for making that happen.
Yeah. He's happy he's running behind a good offensive line now. So that's good for him.
And
Because
running on grass too. It's not
and
turf.
grass. See, the thing is, though, he never got hurt at MetLife. People say that. I'm like, he never got hurt at MetLife. He got hurt at Soldier Field. That's grass. He got hurt at AT&T. I think that's turf. And then he got hurt at
AT&T's turf.
Arizona, I think.
That I don't know if that's turf. I think that's turf.
I remember all the injuries like it was yesterday. But we're here. And now we're talking about the Eagles and Saquon. But let's talk about some other drama with the Eagles. Might as well go into
Yeah, let's
that
just
topic
start with that
since
first.
we're talking about them here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some little drama that happened all because of Brandon Graham. This is Brandon Graham's fault. Let's put that out there. He's got his little WIP show now that he's hurt with his tricep injury out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how it came across. But Hurts and AJ Brown, there's drama right now. And do you think the Eagles should be worried about Hurts and AJ Brown not being on the same page? What do you think?
So yeah, I did hear it. So it's not just the show itself. He always does one in season on WIP like after Monday night, like a victory Monday, so to speak. Even though they lose, he'll still be there. So he's done that even though he was playing. He done it last year. He did it this year even when he was healthy. So he did do that. It's kind of like similar to like the thing with the Sixers, but you don't know who the guy that blew the whistle on that team meeting was. But here it's like, yeah, it's like he's like one's doing his best, but 11 he could do better. It's kind of like what he said.
Yeah, that's
He
what he said.
said there were friends coming in, and now like there's winning. Um, Winning comes into it, so they want to win. Obviously, when you're a receiver, you do have a little diva side too. You want the ball, and dude, when you have a top 5, top 3 receiver, he knows how good he is. When you get the ball to him, you win. You win ball games. That's just a simple matter of fact. And yeah, he wasn't really getting targeted much over the past couple of weeks, even though his impact was definitely felt because defenses have to account for him. But yeah, I do think there is something there. Some Eagles fans are like, no, there's nothing here. Look at them before the game. They were like doing a little prayer circle with them to Devontae Smith. They were all kind of like doing like a little prayer thing before the game this Sunday against Carolina. So they're like, no, good here. And they're looking back at old press conferences and all the stuff. That's like, no, it can't be. But I don't think Brandon Graham would just say that if there wasn't something there. So yeah, I feel like we collapsed last year, so you gotta remember that. That's still a thing to remember. So is a collapse imminent? Maybe. I think it could. I think it's a possibility. I think it could happen if they're both not on the same page. Um, on the same page there, and I think the most frustrating thing is like my pops, my dad. He went to the game. He was at the game Sunday, and he said he was like one of the first things he said to me was dude, Jalen can't read the defense. Like, he had multiple guys wide open. Like, the Carolina defense is not good. There was multiple people wide open.
That's what I was
They're going
hearing.
across the middle of the field all day. He was not seeing them at all. Like, A.J. Brown, like, one of the things I saw on TV, like, a lot of those developing routes, you only could see in the stadium, particularly if you have a little bit, if you're like higher level of the seat too, you could see plays develop, which is really nice. They don't get while watching at home. So a lot of that we didn't see. So there's a lot of open routes he did not see. And I think he played his worst game of the year too, by far. Not a good showing. And yeah, I mean, it just, our offense right now is being carried by Saquon and the offensive line. Like right now, Jalen Hurts, I mentioned his pocket presence. Even Tom Brady, when he called one of our games, he said his pocket presence is like not assistant either. So that's something he has to get better at. And you would agree with me. We have like probably the best O-line in the league. It's like us. You can maybe argue Detroit. They got a good O-line too.
Oh yeah.
So we're like one maybe could argue 1 and 2, whatever there, wherever you want to put them. I would put them 1 personally, but just look what they're doing with the O-line with Saquon too. It doesn't have. It's not a one-man thing, even though he's sensational. I get all that, but yeah, it's just like they're riding the coattails of Saquon in that offensive line, and right now, Hurts is like he has like took 32 sacks on the year. Well, last year only took 36, and you're like, how's that possible when you have like the best O-line? It's with bad pocket presence, man. Like he'll step up, and then the pocket collapses on him, and he takes unnecessary sacks. We should throw the ball away, and he's not taking care of the ball. And a lot of these sacks, like, yeah, they would say, oh, sacks aren't turnovers. He's not fumbling. He's not throwing interceptions. While he's not really hasn't done it the last few games, sure, I'll give him credit for that. But a lot of these sacks and key moments can feel like a turnover. You know what I mean? They really can. When you have momentum going, a sack can kill that. Like when you're driving down the field, a sack can kill that. So, yeah, I mean, when after the game, A.J. Brown was asked, what does offense need to do to get better? Like, where are you struggling and where can you get better? He just said bluntly, passing. That's where we need to get better. And you know what? You call A.J. Brown a diva, but I agree with him. The passing's our biggest weakness, and that starts with the quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, I blame it. I feel like if he was a little bit better, he played better, was reading the defense better, was getting the ball on time and not getting it out late, all those little things, I think we wouldn't be having this, to be honest with you. Yeah, and also you could say, Kellen Moore, yeah, like we're first in rushing, that's great, but you got a generational running back and a great offensive line. So it's, and then your offensive passing, it's like 27th now. I think because of that game, I think we dropped behind Carolina. So like we're with like you guys, the Giants, we're with like the Saints of all people. Our passing offense is shit.
You think it would be like top 10?
No, it should. We have a top 10 offense just because the rushing is insane.
Oh yeah,
it's
nuts. Like top. You think you would have a top 10 passing?
There's no excuse for us not to be. Yeah,
it should be. Goddard,
you have a good tight end.
Right?
You have a good tight end. Devontae Smith, I think he's great too. One of my favorite Eagles, and A.J. Brown's top 3 in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's no excuse. Like Hurts has everything, and then I tell people too. Like when you go, I probably mentioned it here. When you go into that huddle, you're like, man, look at that. You got Devontae, you got Saquon, that offensive line all great. You get the quarterback, you're like, that's the weakest link right there. But if you go to Buffalo, you go to Kansas City, wow, Mahomes, he really carries his team. He puts the team on the back. Wow, did you see Josh Allen? They lost to the Rams. Did you see he put his team on his back and ball his ass out, play one of his best games all year? Hurts is not doing that. He's not putting the team on his back and carrying the teams in those situations. So it's a lot of it's Saquon heavy, a lot of it's O-line heavy. I'll give a lot of it A.J. Brown, even though he's not getting the receptions. You still got, as a defensive coordinator, you can't just let him roam 3, so you got a game plan for him still. So, yeah, as far as the beef goes, sucks to see. It's like another Donovan T.O. situation where, and even they started a little Twitter beef too. Like Donovan was on WIP, and they were saying, he was saying something, and a T.O. shot back, like saying, "Oh, you should have came to me." It was like they started up their whole beef from what 20 years ago. And so
Yeah.
it's like kind of playing itself over again. It's like this seems awfully familiar. But man, I think you're right keeping Donovan because he like unlike Hurts, he was playing like a top 5 quarterback like Donovan was. Hurts is Hurts is probably not even like barely top 15. Barely. I don't even think he is. I could probably name you 15 better. But yeah, like I'm with the wide receiver. I'm with AJ Brown on this one. Even though he might be cocky, might be arrogant, but I get where he's coming from, to be honest. So
Yeah. That's what he said. Passing needs to be better in that post game.
it's right. He didn't say like Jalen explicitly needs to be better. He just said
Oh yeah, he
passing.
said passing.
A lot of that does. I think most of it goes on Hurts because, like I said, Kellen Moore he hasn't been like the best. He hasn't added much to the passing game, but from what Eagles fans are saying, from what I trust what my dad saw at the game, if there are people open and he's missing, it's mostly on your quarterback. I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
and plus
it just
too,
sucks.
I know he comes across Jalen Hurts comes across as stoic, like nothing shakes, nothing rattles him. And that may be true to an extent, but like last year, like he pointed a lot of the finger at Sirianni. Like granted, I don't like Sirianni either. I don't think he's a good coach, but also a lot of that's on you too, dude. So you can't just like point the finger and then have a new offense coordinator come in and it's still the passing game's still not that good. So nothing really changed much from like the Brian Johnson in the passing game. Like the passing game was better with Brian Johnson,
It
but
was.
but we look better because of Howie Roseman getting Saquon Barkley essentially, which had nothing to do with Kellen Moore or Jalen Hurts. It was just him making the offense loaded.
Talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the Eagles should be worried yet. I feel like this might spark a big game for AJ Brown this weekend. I feel like
Mhm.
they'll shut the haters up this weekend. I feel like that could happen. It's a great opportunity against Pittsburgh and at your home stadium there. But yeah, I think Hurts, he has looked questionable, the past few games. He's just having a hard time reading a defense.
Oh,
And yeah, I think the second play of the game, AJ Brown was wide open for a touchdown. Like there was a
oh
play
yeah,
I saw, and it was like a crosser and like
to the
gone
middle,
to the
but
middle.
he hit Devontae on the touchdown. But I'm like, dude, AJ was just wide spanking open though.
Yeah,
Smith was open and he completed it, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's like AJ's right in front of you. And one of the things last year was he does not like going in the middle of the field. He likes going to the boundaries,
mm-hmm.
and that can get exposed. But I'll declare right here. I'm an Alabama fan to this day. I still am. I'm a Penn State fan. I'm a graduate from there, so I have a lot. I say that I have a lot of love and respect for Hurts, but I'm out on him, man. I don't think he's the guy. I'm out. I'm declaring right here on
You're
BenchWire,
declaring
episode
it.
64. I'm out. I'm out on him.
Really?
I don't think he's that good. Like, like, wouldn't you agree that you have to win from the pocket to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like Nick Foles,
Like all the quarterbacks that usually
Nick
win.
Foles beat Tom Brady. Like he wasn't scrambling. He wasn't moving outside the pocket. He won from throwing the ball. He did put his team on the back a little bit during those like playoff stretches. He did, and he played
I
well from the
agree.
pocket. Eli Manning, not the most athletic guy. When it mattered most, you could say all you want about him. Regular season record, not the best, blah blah blah. But you gotta give him credit. He's going to the Hall of Fame because he won 2 Super Bowls and he played well from the pocket and he won the games that way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why if for me, talking from a Super Bowl perspective, a guy that wants to win championships, the guys we all should, we all want our teams to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think he's the guy.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that today.
No.
And now we know.
Yeah, I've just been watching him last year, this year. I like the guy a lot. I think he's a good
good
dude.
leader.
I think
Right?
he's a good dude from what I see publicly. So, but yeah,
Behind the
it does
scenes,
hurt
we
to
don't get
say.
to see.
Yeah,
So
he could be
could be
doing
a
stuff.
douche. Could be a
Could be.
douche. We don't know. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
publicly he looks like, oh my god, he's our QB1 and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I still have them winning this week. I still feel like the Eagles will win.
They
Their
can.
team
Because
on paper
I feel
is
like if
just
they
better than
don't,
the Steelers.
and the Steelers lose, and let's say it's in the fashion like San Fran did, where they just boat race us, which I don't think will happen by any means, but that could start like another collapse situation. It could.
But they don't have. See, the thing is, Steelers, they don't even have Pickens for this game, most likely.
He's doubtful.
So,
Yeah, most
so
likely
that's
not. Yeah.
so like who they trotting out there? Mike Williams and Van Jefferson. You think those guys?
No, I mean, my favorite part of this whole team's the defense. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I love watching the defense. So it won't be like a blowout. Even though even though I liked Arthur Smith going into Pittsburgh, and I like what he's done as coordinator. Yeah, they don't have really much of the weapons there to compete with that too. So hell, dude, I think if we even have Russell Wilson, we could probably make a run. More so, I'd be more happy with Russell Wilson right now than Jalen Hurts on my team.
really.
I swear to God,
Oh my god.
I would take Baker Mayfield right now on my team.
Baker. Yeah, Baker's a dog right now. He's
I'll
fucking
take Baker
there in Tampa. Yeah, dude.
I
He's
take.
been killing it.
Dude, there's a lot of people I would take over him.
Brock
He's just
Purdy.
not.
Brock Purdy?
Yeah,
Question mark.
I
Okay.
know. I was like, dude, there's no
Brock
fucking
Purdy
way
hater.
Jalen Hurts is top 5. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
All right,
we
man.
did.
I was
Once
wrong.
we-
What do you want me to do?
Hey, you
Brock
got
Purdy's
new
better.
information. I saw
Yeah.
it from the beginning. No, I didn't see it from the beginning. I'll say
Brock,
he's
Brock
been a
Purdy's
top
better.
10 quarterback, but I've said Brock Purdy's
He's
been
like right around bottom end of a 10. I think he might be just out
who?
of it.
Brock Purdy or Hurts?
Brock Purdy. No, Hurts is out of the top 10.
Okay.
I mean, Purdy's. I would have to see.
Yeah, because Purdy can read a defense. He's a pocket guy, right? And he can scramble if he needs to. And
Yeah, well, yeah, he never.
and
really
we've seen
had
what
to
he could
scramble.
do with his top weapons out. Like he's been productive. It's just the team overall just
Yeah.
hasn't been great. So,
Dude, I have an idea. You know how like there was like rumors Kyle Shanahan like might get like traded, like you're gonna trade for coaches.
yeah,
Dude, we got to do it. We got to do it.
trade for Shanahan.
We'll be San Fran 2.0.
Yeah,
McCaffrey, Saquon, we got weapons. We just need to get a pocket quarterback and we'll be golden.
yeah.
Just keep Fangio. We don't need
There
Kellen
you
Moore
go.
anymore. We'll be fucking set. It could be like Andy Reid going to Kansas City.
They're definitely not getting rid of Shanahan. They just had a bad year because of all the injuries and just
I give him my first round pick for him.
I feel like the Niners don't want to move off of him though.
For a first round pick, they get 2 first round picks though.
Okay, but they want to be good. A first round pick doesn't make
they could
you
get Belichick.
Belichick.
Yeah,
dude, that team's built to win with Shanahan, not Belichick.
They could get Ben Johnson.
No, Shanahan's the guy. They're not going to move off of Shanahan. That's stupid if they do.
That'd be awesome, man. There needs to be more coaches traded.
Yeah.
It would just
I
be
don't know.
awesome.
Maybe we'll see that. See something happen. But I doubt Shanahan gets traded. No way. 1 year removed from the Super Bowl. Team's been hurt. Haven't been healthy.
Yeah. I don't understand the 49ers that are upset with him and potentially want him fired. I don't get that.
Yeah.
But I'll say Debo doesn't look the best. I think he's really tradable. Like I don't know how great of a teammate he is. You've seen him like flare up on the sideline.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be opposed to them. There could be a chance they move on from him because I think Ricky Pearsall could do a lot of the things.
He could step
Debo
up there. Perform,
yeah, he does. He could do a lot of stuff. Debo could. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
But want to transition?
Yeah. Let's change the topics here. Talk about those Chiefs.
Sure.
Is it time to panic about those Chiefs? I know they're 12-1, but they've been playing really close with some shitty teams. That doink there at the end that beat the Chargers. I don't know. It's kind of concerning. you know, but they find ways to win. That's the thing. They have the formula. They know how to win. They got the players there. Just a matter of them putting it all together offensively, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
concerning right now. I think Patrick Mahomes, like, he's good, but like they just haven't been able to put it together as an offense. I don't know where they go from here. They
Mm-hmm.
they have the weapons, you know. I know people have been banged up, but you got D Hop, you got Kelsey, right? You got Pacheco back, you got Kareem Hunt, like you got studs. The offensive line, they haven't been the greatest. They've been giving up some sacks there, but you know, they have the talent to make a run, but I don't know if they can do it this year. I don't know because I feel like the Bills, they're more talented from what we've seen. They've been more productive. They score more
Mm-hmm.
points, right? The Ravens, they've had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but like when they put it all together, I feel like they're a team that could beat the Chiefs. I don't know if I'm taking these Chiefs as a Super Bowl contender this year. I don't know if they could go all the way to the Super Bowl. They'll definitely make the playoffs. They're definitely fighting for that 1 seed right now, but I don't know if they can do this for 4 straight games and win the Super Bowl too. It's just going to be tough. I'm kind of panicking right now. I don't know about you.
Did they not win the AFC West yet?
I believe they are very close. I
Okay,
think they clinch it soon here,
because I
but
know
they
they beat the
definitely clinch the
Chargers.
playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't know, like the Commanders in our division, are like what, like 7-5, like around
Yeah,
there, and we just clinched with our win. So I didn't know if they had similar records and they just won. So
because I know the Chargers and
I feel like they
Broncos are creeping, but I think the Chiefs would
Broncos
have.
are creeping a little bit too,
I think
but
the Chiefs would have to like lose out for. There's what 4 weeks left, so
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
so I don't think they can. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. They would have to lose out to not win a division. They'll still make the playoffs. I think they clinched playoffs already, but yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to panic a little bit. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think when we had a similar topic a couple weeks ago, I was kind of like, yeah, this is something to look out because I'll bring up the Eagles one more time. I don't want to talk about it much more, but we had a collapse too. Went to the Super Bowl, and then we just fell apart after that San Francisco game last year. So I'm like, don't be surprised that that could happen. But however, I don't know if Taylor Swift's doing witchcraft. They just have luck. I don't know. They just got a lot of luck. They went in the luckiest of ways. A blocked field goal hits the post, comes in. So they got luck on their side right now. So they're winning, but they're not winning like dominant Kansas City fashion all year. So as far as like the three-peat hopes, I think those are done for this year. I don't think they're winning it. But yeah, like it's one of those things where I got to see them losing the playoffs, right? Like Josh Allen, they do well in the regular season. They're pretty split. Like I think they're both like 4-4 or something. So they're pretty split. But it's like, will Josh Allen, will Lamar Jackson, or will the Steelers even? Will they have that
Yeah,
moment over them? So yeah, the AFC is loaded, so they can. I feel like they could lose to any of those teams, but something like, oh, I got to see it to believe it because I know they have the best quarterback. I know he hasn't had the best season. That's been Josh Allen and other guys like Lamar, but I know what Mahomes is capable of, especially in crunch time. So it's like something you got to see happen. But yeah, it is concerning because even like they're not playing complementary football as much this year. Like you're saying, if it's the offense got to play better, that you just alluded to, they got to play it together. Even though they've had some injuries, but they got some guys. Like you made a good point there, but there are also times when the offense had it, like the Carolina game a couple weeks ago. The offense had it rolling, but the defense couldn't stop Bryce Young. So they're not putting it all together and saying like, "Wow, what a good defensive and offensive game," like they've had the past couple of years. So I feel like when you look at what has happened, the Chiefs team of the past, as to what we see now, I think it's a logical choice with what we have to say that they probably won't make the Super Bowl or because of how low it is. And if they play the Lions, I think the Lions will beat them too. So yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on it. So yeah, and I think they have a pretty interesting schedule. I know they got the Steelers coming up. I don't know. I forget who they play this week. Maybe you know off the top, but yeah, when your number one seed is not super easy. So yeah, man,
Did the Chiefs
it is
play this
concerning.
week?
Yeah, I don't know who the Chiefs play this week.
Let's look. Google's our best friend. They are playing the Browns. They should win that.
Browns are playing better, but yeah,
They're playing better.
I would take
but
Kansas City in that. But my point is, like, they gotta finish strong here too. So yeah,
the
concerned.
Browns.
I have been concerned. So that's my thoughts.
They had the Browns, the Texans, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So
Texans, Steelers, Broncos.
I think
that's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's a tough stretch there. Like, yeah, don't count out on the Browns. They've been keeping it close now with Jameis. Texans, they've kind of been underwhelming this year, but I feel like
I think sophomore slump for CJ is what
I feel like they could still get it done against the Chiefs. The Steelers, that's another team. They're looking good right now. See how they fare.
They could definitely drop that game.
And then the Broncos, so it's gonna be a little tough stretch.
It could drop to the Broncos because that defense is good. And Bo Nix, since the first time they played, he's been playing better.
Yeah,
since the first meeting. Yeah,
we'll see what happens there, but yeah, I would definitely be concerned if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs because the three-peat and just how not well their team has been playing and how well the other AFC contenders have been. It's gonna be tough to win these one-score games when you're playing those teams in the playoffs. So I would panic. I would start to panic a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But with that being said, so we know basically the contenders, but there's still some spots there in the wild card that we think possibly there could be some dark horses to make a run here and sneak in the playoffs for both the NFC and AFC. I'll go ahead and start first. My NFC dark horse, I'm going to give it to the Rams right now. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Stafford. What a game this past Sunday against the Bills. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, that offense, Sean McVay, like that's a team to look out for. I feel like they can make a splash and make a wild card push here. And then the AFC. Don't count out on the Bengals just yet. Don't count on the Bengals just yet. I know they're 5-8, but I feel like they could finish 9-8 with their schedule, how it is. And I think, the Broncos and the Chargers, they're having some tough games here on the schedule. If they lose some of those games, right, and the Bengals win out, there's a shot for the Bengals to lock up that 7th seed. It's still on the table. Not going to count them out yet, but I would say those two teams right now, the Rams and the Bengals, are my dark horses to make a run and make the playoffs. How about you?
Good picks. I like the Rams pick. I thought about them, but there's only one team that I could really think of that's beat both in the NFC, that beat both the Lions and the Eagles, and that's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay would be my dark horse. I feel like Baker's been playing great ball. Mike Evans is healthy. Losing Godwin hurts. I won't say it doesn't, but
I feel like they're going to win a division.
They will, yeah, but I feel like it's been Eagles, Lions. But I'm just saying, don't count them out.
Yeah,
they're kind of a dark horse.
I've always liked them.
Everyone's saying that it's a 2-man race, so anything different would be a little bit of a shock, And my Eagles, especially my quarterback that I'm out on, struggles against Tampa, so I wouldn't want to see him in the playoffs. That's for sure.
First round.
Yeah, they play teams tough. I do like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a dark horse.
Okay.
And I like Todd Bowles. I like the defense, and the play calling's been good offensively. And Bucky Irving's been playing good ball from running back. AFC, it's tough. I get your Bengals take. I feel like
It's more
it's
bold.
possible, but
It's
it's like a
possible.
launch shot.
Yeah,
I'll go with one that's like
more doable.
doable. Like they're the same division, but they're not in first. Like the Ravens, if they could just figure out their own woes and get Justin Tucker fixed and hand the ball off to Derrick Henry that I've been telling them to do, the sky's the limit for that team. Like there's not really many holes. It's just like when you played the Chiefs, when you played these guys, when you played the Eagles, even like if Tucker made those field goals, we'd be talking about something different there. So a lot of it's self-inflicted, and I feel like if they clean a lot of it up, like this week against the Giants, it should be a get right game coming off the
Yeah,
bye.
yeah,
Let's
right.
get right. Let's just roll over them. Let's just get them done. Let's get it done with, man.
It's another game I won't be tuning into.
Yeah, and then the Steelers, we should have won that game too, but we shot ourselves in the foot yet again. Let's go out there. They're coming to our place. Let's beat them. Let's beat them. Let's show them we're the crop of the AFC, and we belong with them, with the Chiefs, with the Bills. Don't count us out. So Ravens are a dark horse for me too. That's my AFC and NFC. What do you think?
I like it. I think, yeah, for sure the Ravens can find a way and still win a division there. And the Bucks, yeah, I've always liked the Bucks. And I think they will definitely win a division now. The Falcons, not looking good. They're not looking good at all.
Yeah,
And
Kirk
the
looks.
Bucks, they're getting healthy, right? And Baker's been on a tear, so I
He's
like
been
those
good.
picks. I like those picks a lot. I'll let you talk about our next topic here, because I know this is something you wanted to bring in the podcast.
Look,
So
man, yeah,
let's talk about it.
let's talk about it. With our final minutes here, I'm a big college fan. I've been really into it, especially this year. I've loved it. I've really enjoyed it. I've been to an Ohio State game. I've been to a Penn State game. I've loved it. It's been fun. And now we wanted to talk about the expanded playoff bracket. It's been so much fun to watch. Like you watch Championship Saturday. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of great ball there. You had Penn State, Oregon Saturday night. You had Texas, Georgia rematch. It was a lot of fun. You had Clemson walk it off against SMU for the ACC. Man, it's been a lot of good games. And you saw Arizona State beat the brakes off of who did they play? Iowa State. So, yeah, I mean, great football around. Yeah, and the bracket's been set up, man. Oregon's number one. Look like the best team. Wouldn't you agree? Dylan Gabriel
Yeah,
looks good. Maybe a
after what we
potential
just
future
saw this
giant,
Saturday.
maybe a future giant. Get a little
But I'll
lefty in
take
there.
anybody at quarterback at this point. After
Anyone
what I've
over
been seeing
Drew
the
Lock and
past few
DeVito.
weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's looked great. Dan Lanning getting the ball out quick. Tej Johnson's great. I won't give a full rundown on the teams, but you got Georgia too. Obviously, Kirby Smart beating Texas Choice. They earned that number 2. And then it gets a little bit, interesting because it's like the highest record for like conference champions. So like, yeah, you got Boise State, Mountain West. You're like, oh, a Mountain West team is a 3 seed, but the record's high. So you're like, okay, they got the 3 seed, and then here comes Arizona State out of nowhere, the 4 seed. You're like, wow. And then as a Penn State fan, we were all saying, hey, if you lose to Oregon, it's an easier path. So they get the 6 seed, they play SMU, and they get a whiteout home game, man. Noon next Saturday. The place is going to be jumping. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be fun. And then you get Texas is the 5 seed, and they get Clemson. Clemson's on a little bit of a roll right now. They've been winning some games. They've been playing a lot better. So that's not going to be an easy game for Texas. They're home. It's a little homecoming for Cade Klubnik, the starting quarterback for Clemson. He's coming back to Austin, where he was from. So a little revenge game, home kind of game for him. He's like a homecoming. So that'll be cool. That'll be interesting. And you got like the Indiana Bowl, the 7-10 matchup. Indiana, who's been playing good. They only lost to Ohio State. And they're playing Notre Dame. A lot of people calling Notre Dame frauds. They haven't beat anyone good. So maybe we get a little Indiana upset over Notre Dame. Maybe we
Yeah,
do.
maybe.
And then the game I'm looking forward to, the 8-9. Columbus, they get a home game, Ohio State. They get Tennessee. That should be a barn burner. I expect a lot of good things out of the offense. And yeah, shout out to my boy Will Howard, starting quarterback Ohio State. I'm pulling for you. I know, Penn State guy, but I got to root for my friends. I got to root for my childhood friend. So I'm pulling for you. I am a resident Ohio State fan this year. It does feel weird to say that, but I'm pulling for you, guy. You got to go out and get him. Go win the Natty. I'll be watching. I'll be supporting you from afar, my friend. Yeah, it's been so much fun. I've just been keeping up with everything going on. It's been awesome. So, yeah, I can't wait for this playoff bracket. And Steve, if you know, do you have like a pick, a favorite, maybe a guy that could run the table? You know how like March Madness, if you're playing well, you get hot. Like you get like the 16-1 upset sometimes, like the 5-12. Is there anyone you're like could make a run to win it all, or you got like, nah, it's one of the top seeds? Like, who do you think is going to win it? Who think could surprise people and run through their bracket?
I like Texas. I feel like Texas could definitely make a run. I know like they lost those games at Georgia there, but I feel like they still have the roster. They still got all the talent there, and they could definitely make a push. So I would say that's one of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Even Penn State here with how easy their schedule is, but I know they have to eventually play Georgia and then probably like Oregon, maybe even Ohio State again. So I feel like
Yeah.
their path, Penn State, is pretty easy, and it's just a matter of them taking care of business. So I
Mm-hmm.
like Texas as like the one that can make the run all the way, and then Penn State, they can make a sneaky little run here too. So those are my two teams that I feel like they can make a run here with the bracket and how it's shaping out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the Penn State side. They got really like lucked out there. Lose like I wanted to win that game, but I also knew losing it would make it an easier path
Beneficial
for them to
for us.
run the table. But the consequence to that is James Franklin, all eyes are on him, right? You got the home game, you got the whiteout energy. You want the fans to go crazy. They will bring it. And, that could be a really tough environment. SMU, they're a Southern team. They're from Texas. They got to come up and potentially play in snow in like 30-degree weather. That all the advantages are there in your favor. And if you somehow find a way to lose, your seat's getting hot. You know, you can start looking at the bio. Maybe we could buy him out, get someone in there. You know what I'm saying? So out of
Mm-hmm.
everyone, he has the most pressure. And Ryan Day, they've been calling for him because he's been 0-4 against Michigan the last few years. They lost the other week against Michigan in a game they should have won. That they'll tell you themselves they should have won that game. And yeah, so a lot of Ohio State fans it's like a sin to lose that game, to them. And they have lost it. And they look at the coach for that, and for him, it's like you got to run the table. Or I know his contract is like, are they going to really buy him out for $30+ million to just buy him out and get a new coach in there? It's a possibility, but for his sake, he needs to run the table here. And a lot of people are high on them. They got the best roster. They got the best roster in the NCAA. So they could definitely run the table. They just got a tougher path. Like Tennessee, I I like Ohio State in that game, but it's just a tougher path for them. As far as who I've liked Georgia from the start of the season, so I'll stick with Georgia. Um, One of the reasons Kirby Smart, in my opinion, is the best coach from that Saban tree. That defense has played great. Texas, you got to give a lot of respect to them. I think that's a good pick too. But whenever they played Georgia, they struggled offensively to get any rhythm, and their offense has been great. And yeah, and the defense has been playing awesome. And they got to play the winner of Notre Dame, Indiana, and I think they can handle either who wins that game. And then from there it becomes, I think they'll play whoever makes it out of SMU PSU versus who is it? Boise. So they could definitely make it a championship game, I feel like, and play like an Oregon, a Texas, some team like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like a dark horse. Dark horse for me, I would say like Ohio State could run the table too. So
They could
like
definitely run it too.
I'll put them there, even though I don't feel like it, because a lot of people are like they could still do this thing. They got a good defense. The defense has been playing great. They got all these playmakers. They got the best receiver in the country. Do you know Jeremiah Smith, Steve? If you don't know him,
Oh,
look him up. He's probably one of the best receivers in the country. He's insane. Emeka Ibuka is a first-round talent. You got Quinshon Judkins. They got from the transfer portal from, I believe, Ole Miss. Travion Henderson. They got two great running backs, great receivers, good tight end play. And Will's a good quarterback. Good quarterback, too. They got him from the transfer portal from Kansas State. He's been playing good football as well. So, and the thing is, you just got to get the ball to the playmakers and let them make plays, and Will's been doing that. So they can run the table. And that defense, they got that safety, Caleb Downs, Josh Downs, the Colts receiver, that's his brother. He's outstanding safety. He'll be a first-round pick, too. I don't know if he's coming out this year or next year, but he's fantastic, too. So I feel like they could get it right. It's just the path, because they lost to Michigan, that lost some consideration, lost some points with the committee, because Michigan didn't have the best record. It was like a rebuild, retooling year for him, and they lost that. So that lost some favor. They lost some favor there with the committee, so that's why they're 8. So now they got to really get it going, improve it, and I feel like they want to avenge themselves for that loss. Like, do you remember after the game, there was like pepper spray with the cops? Like Michigan was like disrespecting them. They were going to plant the flag over the O at midfield.
There's a lot of drama.
Yeah, I feel like getting disrespected at the end of the game like that and losing to Michigan with fans calling for Ryan Day's job, calling for the team to be better. I feel like there's pressure there, but also I feel like it's going to light a fire. It could really light a fire, and they can really do something with that, go on a special run, and hold up the trophy when it's all said and done. So, yeah, I think Ohio State's a dark horse still, but right now my favorite personally is Georgia. It has been since the start of the year. So, yeah, I can't wait for that to start. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Little bye week, Army, Navy this week. So, good time for college football.
Yeah. We'll find out in 2 weeks. It all starts. Let us know what you guys think down below, who you got winning the college football playoff bracket. Thank you guys for tuning in yet again. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We would really appreciate it. Go follow our socials. We've been posting more on there recently with our weekly predictions every week. So go check that out. And yeah, any final words before we end off today's episode, Justin?
Man, just enjoy this wonderful football season. NFL playoffs around the corner. See if your team makes it, cheer them on. Or if not, like the Giants, root for better draft positioning, right? Maybe get number 1. You shot the world. You're like, we're going to hold for Arch. We're going to take Travis Hunter here. Maybe you can do that.
God. They could. We do need a corner. So.
And you got a receiver, too.
And
there
you
go. 2 for 1.
2 for 1.
We get the Heisman. Yeah. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy family. The holidays are coming up. Just enjoy it all. And my last message is tomorrow is my man's birthday. Happy birthday, Steve.
Yes, it is.
I love you. I'm sure your family loves you, maybe. No, I'm joking.
Maybe. I don't know. I have to double
family
check.
Loves you. I know our friends love you too. BenchWire loves you. It wouldn't be this without you. So I love you, my man. I hope tomorrow's a good day. And we got to celebrate soon. So we'll talk after this recording. We'll figure something out.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy. We'll catch you guys later. BenchWire.
Out, baby.